Hey everyone, my name is Andy. This is Neville. Welcome to Namaste at Home Yoga. Today's practice is going to be geared a little bit more towards cyclists. Some of the planes of motion that you're usually working in, and different spots that we can maybe open up a little bit more and counteract some of that forward-leaning posture if you are spending a lot of time on a bike, whether it's a spin bike or you're outdoors. Now that things are getting a little bit warmer outside, I know people have been out and about a little more, whether it's been running or on their bikes or out for walks. So I'm just slowly targeting different areas like that and tailoring yoga classes a little bit more towards whatever's got you out and busy right now. So we'll start by finding a comfortable seat. So allow yourself to grow tall up out of the hips, allowing sit bones to get firm into your mat. Allowing the eyes to close over the next few breaths as we start to turn our focus inwards. Noticing the flow of the breath today, how it wants to move through the body. And starting to invite a little bit more depth there. As we inhale, we fill through the belly, fill the chest. Exhaling to let the chest fall and belly falls. Inhaling belly and chest. Exhale chest and belly. If it is available for you today, I would recommend keeping the mouth closed through most of the practice. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. But of course, feel free to adjust that however you need, just for comfort's sake and for ease as we make our way through. Can bring the chin down towards the chest as hands float through center, palms press. And growing tall, we'll start to open up a little bit through the chest to start by walking those fingertips out to the sides and then finding their way back behind you. Feel that openness in the chest as the shoulder blades draw back and together. Maybe the gaze rises. Let's just take a few really good breaths here. Breathing in space, finding expansion. Noticing where it is activating through our back to keep us in this open posture. Let's walk our hands back in front of us. We'll bring ourselves into a tabletop and start warming up through the spine, just with a few cat-cows here. Hands can come to stack under shoulders, knees under hips, and as we inhale, we'll move with that breath, dropping the belly, letting head, chest, and hips rise. Exhaling, we press down through hands and knees, rounding the spine. Inhale, belly drops, head, chest, hips lift. Exhaling, we press and round. Let's find one more of those. Inhale to open up. Exhaling, we round. And let's find our way onto our forearms here. So elbows come to rest. Again, just stacking underneath the shoulders. Opening up a little bit more in through our T-spine. We'll bring the right hand just gently to the right side of the head. Again, moving with our breath here, encouraging some rotation. We'll inhale to open up. Exhaling brings us back through neutral. Let's find 2 more. Inhales, open up, create space. Exhale, we lower. Inhale, open up. Exhale, lower. We'll find our way to a second side. Same thing over here. Left fingertips find their way to the left side of the head. And moving with that breath. Inhales, open us up. As we exhale, lowering. Inhale, open up. Exhale, release that down. Find 1 more at your pace. Releasing back to your mat, and we'll start to send those hips back, just taking a brief child's pose. Hips sink back towards heels. Arms can stay outstretched, and we'll let the shoulders, forehead just melt down towards the mat. If that is not so available for the forehead today, you can bring hands to stack, maybe flat or as fists, just to help support. Finding somewhere sturdy that you can come to rest. Taking breaks as you need to through our practice. This is always a nice posture to come back to. Or any other comfortable posture that might give you some good rest, some good slow down time. For now, we'll keep things moving, extending the arms back in front of us if the hands are stacked. Finding your way through a tabletop, and then tuck the toes. Send those hips up and back for your first down dog of the practice. Allowing yourself to weight shift a little bit here, however you need. Pedaling out side to side, do what you need to do. And then settling into this inverted V. Hands and feet are both about hip distance or shoulder width apart. Knees can bend as much as they need. And sit bones tilt up, but they kind of tilt up and back towards where the wall and the ceiling meet. Let's find an inhale to lift the right leg high. As we exhale, stepping outside of the right hand. Stacking knee right over top of the ankle, moving into a gentle twist. Right arm is reaching up towards the sky. A little bit of an extension from what we did from our forearms before. Fingertips reach. Finding some space through the side of the body. Feel free to drop that back knee if you need, but if it's lifted, keep the heel lifted as well. Those will either come up or down together. Let's exhale, hand back to the mat. Challenge the balance. Inhale, left arm opens up and away. Fingertips towards the sky. And again, drop that back knee if you need, or keep the knee and the heel lifted. Next, exhale, hands find the mat once more. Go ahead and step back, downward dog. And we'll find our second side. Same thing here. Inhaling, left leg reaches high. Stepping outside of the left hand. Finding our twist. Left arm is opening up and past. Fingertips reaching, legs are strong as we start to warm things up a little bit. Bring some movement in. Finding some space. And with an exhale, that hand finds the mat. Opposite arm, right arm lifts up towards the sky. Challenging our balance more here. Allowing just to open towards the side wall. As we exhale, hands find the mat once more. Go ahead and step back to your downward dog. We're going to wake up a little bit of core next. Inhale, right leg comes high. Exhale to shift forward, knee pulls forward towards the nose. Inhale, we kick that back. Exhale, forward, knee to nose. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, knee to nose. One more, let's kick it back. And this time we'll bring that foot to step between the hands. Setting up for our runner's lunge, just starting to warm up the legs a little bit. Feel the right hip draw back as the left hip draws forward. Finding a gentle lift through the upper body as we send the arms back, shoulder blades pulling towards each other. Fingertips reach back and get high on your toes, back toes. Think about the crown of the head reaching forward and a gentle tuck back of the chin just to help that lengthen the spine. It's easy to want to hang down here, so find that little bit of a pull back with the chin. Hanging out for 3, 2, and 1. We'll frame that foot, step on back, downward dog. Finding our second side, left leg, inhales high. Exhale to shift forward, knee to nose. Inhale, come on back. Exhale, pulling that knee forward. One more like that, inhale, kick up. Exhale, pull through. Last kick, send it back. And coming to step between the hands, set up for that runner's lunge. Knee stacks over ankle once more. Get fired up with the legs, right hip back, or right hip forward this time, pardon me, left hip back. Drawing up through the upper body as it gets light. Send those arms back. Think about really squeezing into the back body here. Get strong through the legs, high on your back toes. And if you've lost it, find that gentle tuck to the chin once more. So we have that strong line from the top of the head out the back heel. Last couple of breaths here. Feel that breath strong. Exhaling to frame the foot, step forward, this time forward fold. We're just gonna let that go here. Head can hang out heavy. Maybe we grab 4 opposite elbows, find a gentle sway side to side. And releasing the arms. Let's start to find our way up to stand. Roll it up vertebrae by vertebrae. When we're here, if we need to reset that a little bit, find an inhale to roll shoulders up to ears. Exhale, send those shoulders back and down, away. Move through a couple of gentle flows, finding an inhale to sweep those arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, we'll find a half lift. Exhale, hands plant, step back to a plank. Inhale, stay as we exhale, we'll lower to knees, chin and chest. Inhale draws us forward and up. Exhale, we make our way back to a downward dog. The right leg can inhale high. Stepping between the hands. Left heel is gonna find the mat, find a 45-degree angle with the foot, and we'll press up for warrior 1. Hands may come through center, catch hips, or they rest overhead. We're going to settle into a lunge with the right leg. Bending that same hip action as we did in our lunge. Right hip draws back, left hip presses forward. Finding equal pressure through the feet, a little bit of a tuck under with that tailbone. Next exhale, we can release the arms down. Inhale, straightening our leg. Find our way into pyramid. Legs are going to stay fired up, hips still square to the front of the mat. Catching hips for today. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, start to fold, hinging at the waist, hinging at the hips. Finding some sensation through the back of the leg. Let's keep that long spine. Strengthening a little bit through the back body, through our postural muscles while we're here. And just maintaining a micro bend in that right knee to help protect the joint. Maybe something similar to what you would have at that bottom pedal position. Couple more breaths. With our next exhale, we're going to release down, frame the foot, step back to your down dog, and move through a flow, inhaling to shift forward plank. Exhale, we lower knees, chin and chest. Inhale, draws us forward and up for cobra. Exhaling, we find our way back. Downward dog. Second side, left leg inhales high. Stepping between the hands. Right heel finds the mat, 45-degree angle as we sit up for our warrior one. Allowing arms to rest wherever feels good here. Finding that equal pressure through front and back feet. And that squareness with the hips. Core strong to help drop that tailbone towards the earth. Breathing into this, maybe exhales find more of a lunge, a little bit more groundedness. The inhales keep our upper body light. If arms are lifted, you can exhale, release them down. Inhaling, we'll straighten through that front leg. Making sure hips remain square. We can catch hips here. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale, leaning forward, finding that sensation through the hamstring, maybe in the calf. Micro bend to protect that left knee. Maintaining our tall spine here. Strength through that back body, strength through some of our postural muscles. We create a little bit of openness through the legs. If you're needing more intensity, exaggerate that square to the front, pull that left hip back, right hip forward. Beautiful. Next exhale, go ahead and frame the foot, step back, downward dog. One more flow here. Inhale, shifts us forward. Exhaling, we lower. Inhale, cobra, half lift. Exhale, come on back, downward dog. Finding a bit more space through our back body here. Again, bend the knees as much as you need. We're going to send the right arm back and through, reaching for the outside edge of that left leg. Maybe we find a little bit of a twist. Gaze under that left shoulder. And releasing the right hand back to the mat. Of course, we've got to get that second side, so go ahead, reach the left arm through, finding the outside edge of the right leg. A little bit of a twist as we shift our gaze to the right wall. With an exhale, let's bring hands back to the mat. Step hopper, float back to the top of your mat for a forward fold.
Let that go for a moment or so, really ragdolling here. Let that head go. Give it a bit of a shaky yes or no. Just helping to release a bit more tension from the neck. And we'll roll it back up to stand. No rush. Having to stack ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, and head. Once we're here, let's find a big breath in. Sweep the arms overhead. Exhaling, bring them through center. Palms come to press. One more. Inhale, open up, fill up. Exhale through center. Let's catch our hips one more time. Stepping the right foot back. About right foot or left foot, either foot. Back about one leg distance on your mat. You can turn the toes to face towards the side and then open them slightly so they're pointing to the corners of your mat. Strengthening a little bit more in and around different areas of the hips here. Let's get really tall. You can sweep those arms out to the side. Inhale, send them overhead. Exhale, finding cactus arms as we sink down into our squat. We're going to hold here for a couple of breaths. Going to release the arms gently on to the legs. Palms up, help just to keep us from fully resting in here. Keep that light. Keep the tailbone tucking. Come up for a breather if you need to, a little bit of a leg break. Otherwise, we're going to encourage some length through the side body. Inhaling your right arm overhead. Exhaling, finding a gentle lean. A little bit of a side bend. Keeping legs fired up. Pressing back behind you. Toes and knees pointing in the same direction. And coming back through center with the arms. Left arm inhales, reach. Exhale, find our side bend. Strong through those legs. Strong with the breath, creating space through the side body. Wonderful. Let's bring that back through center. Come on back up, straight leg. And we'll step it to the top of our mat once more. Heating up a little bit, I hope so. Let's bring it through an inhale. Exhale to fold. Come on down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands plant, step back, find your plank. Staying on the toes or dropping to the knees, however you need. Once more, let's find that little bit of a chin. Tuck back in towards you. Feel the arms pressing strong into your mat. Maybe doming a little bit in the upper back, just creating space between your shoulder blades. For 3, 2, and 1. Send the hips back, downward dog. Let's bring right leg high. Stepping between the hands. Setting up for a low lunge this time. We'll drop the back knee and tuck the toes. Pressing up to a tall spine. Just allowing the tailbone to drop once more as we press those hips forward and down on the mat. You can keep hands balanced on the leg, catching hips through center or overhead. Just encouraging that length in our spine. Each inhale pulls us up a little taller. Exhale is just allowing that tailbone to drop. If balance is challenging, you can always heel toe your front foot a little bit wider. Larger base of support. we exhale, let's frame the foot. Come on back to your down dog. And just finding your way into your second side as we bring that left leg high and between the hands. Back knee drops, toes untuck as we lift. Settle into wherever you need to be today for your low lunge. See if we can find that same activity through the back as we did when we started practice in that seated posture. Broadening through the chest even without the fingertips helping us there. If arms are overhead, you can think about turning the thumbs so they face the back wall. Draw them back towards it. Enough to open the shoulders without allowing the chest to really balloon here. Core stays so strong. To help with the tailbone dropping down for 2 more. As we exhale, we'll frame the foot. Step it forward, forward folds. And come on up to stand. You can step to the center of your mat or wherever you have a little bit more space. Strengthening a little bit in through the hips here. Let's shift our weight to the left foot. Inhale, right knee comes up towards the chest. You can stay here, or maybe we start to kick that leg away from us for 3. Grow tall, 2. Rooted through that opposite foot, and last 1. Releasing back to your mat. Shifting sides, weight comes over to the right foot. Inhaling left knee to chest. Growing tall, standing strong, and resting here or kicking away for 3. For 2, don't worry if you're wobbly or shaky, it's all good. 1 more. Exhaling to bring that back to the mat. Beautiful. Let's bring ourselves into a chair, setting arms up in line with shoulders. Hips come back and down into a invisible chair, invisible seat. You're going to find that same little bit of a tuck to the tailbone. Core draws in. Finding a weight shift back into your heels. And if you've lost it, find that little bit of a chin tuck again, just reestablishing our strong posture. Even though arms are reaching forwards, shoulder blades can still pull back and together. It's a tiny, tiny movement, micro adjustments. For 3, 2, and 1. Use the hands however you need. Come on down to a seat. Fantastic. Let's bring legs out in front of us and working through the quads a little bit first. We'll bring a heel back in towards you. Top of the foot finds the mat. That heel sits just outside of the hip. And if this really doesn't feel good for the top of the foot, the ankle, the knee, whatever it may be, draw that heel in towards you in a side lie instead, or even on your stomach. However you are here, settling in. If you're seated, let's start to walk the hands back behind us. Maybe we find bent arms, maybe forearms, maybe all the way down to our back, but let your body dictate what it's okay with, what feels like just enough stretch today. Good way to check in with that is if the knee starts to either lift up or come out to the side, out of line with the hip. Maybe we're going a little bit too far. We draw that knee back in towards the center, back in line with the hip. Does that change anything? And just being kind to the body and whatever is coming up. take the next breath or so. Find your way back up to your tall seat. We're just going to switch sides, releasing the one away from us. Opposite heel, tucks in towards you. Bring it into that side lie. We're bringing the top of the foot to the mat. Again, knee in line with hip as we start to find our way back. Settling in however you need. Letting go of any expectations that one side might be the same as the other. They're often quite different, or even just subtly different. Allowing yourself to just rest in whatever you're needing today. Finding those deep belly breaths. Or just a couple more. Over your next breath or so, we'll find our way back up to your seat. Again, send legs back in front of you. And we're going to find our way on to our stomach. So however you need to do that today. Being mindful of keeping our neutral spine as we lower down. And we're going to bring a little bit more openness to the front of the body, into the chest. So start by extending an arm out in line with your shoulder. Find a 90-degree bend to your elbow. And moving into a little bit of a twist, but more of a chest opener here. Opposite hand plants into your mat. Opposite foot reaches up and over. I encourage you to let the head rest however is available, whether it's on your mat, on your opposite hand, or if you have a block or cushion nearby, that'll also do. We won't be here for more than a few breaths. Let's just get 2 more. And we'll find our way back through center. Setting up for our second side, evening things out. An arm comes straight out from the shoulder. Finding a 90-degree elbow bend. Opposite hand plants as opposite foot reaches up and over. Moving into that little bit of a twist, but finding that space through the front body. So often, if we're on the bike, it's easy to let those shoulders sneak forward on you. Even if you're just spending a lot of time seated at a desk or computer, we tend to get that little bit of roundness through the upper back, so we're negating that today by creating a bit more space here, strengthening our postural muscles. Let's find our way back through center. And strengthening our back just gently today. Let's extend arms overhead, legs are out long. Head can hover or maybe it gently rests. I'll leave that up to you. We're going to be doing a little bit of lifting going across the body. So opposite arm and leg. You can point those thumbs up towards the ceiling. As you inhale, bring the right arm, left leg high. Exhale, let them come down. Other side, inhaling left arm, right leg. Exhale down. Couple more each side. Inhale and lift. Exhaling, we lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Go through one more each side at your pace. If you're just finishing up with your lifts, that's all good. Doesn't need to be a super speedy transition. We've got time. We allow our back body to settle a little bit here. We can bring the right knee in towards the chest. Give ourselves a little bit of a squeeze around the shin, around the hamstring. Extending that left leg away from us. Just creating some compression in the front of the right hip. Switching sides. Inhale, left knee to chest. Grab on, give it a squeeze. Exhale, send the right leg away. And a few breaths, finding that compression. Evening out in the hips. How deep are those breaths? Can we make them a little bit more so, a little bit smoother maybe? We will gently release. Left foot sole finds the mat. Right leg inhales high. Exhale, cross the ankle over the opposite knee, setting up for your figure four. Staying as you are, maybe inviting a bit of activation through the outer right hip to press the knee away from you. Or we inhale to lift legs towards us, grabbing for the back of the leg to settle in to a stretch through the right glute, right hip. Some of those external rotators. And then I'll encourage you to find a little bit of movement here, if that feels all right. Gentle rock over towards one side or the other. Just taking note at what angle we really start to feel this one more, maybe feel it a lot less in some areas. And maybe we hang out in some of those sticky points or some of those more intense spots just for a couple of breaths. Our next exhale can release foot soles back to the mat. This time inhaling left heel high. Go ahead and cross it over the opposite knee. Set up for that second side however you need today. Maybe we find a little bit of hip activation, pressing the knee away from us. Maybe we start to draw those knees in towards us so you can grab onto the hamstring. Finding deep breaths into those areas of tension. And finding our movement side to side, just really slow, really mindfully. Maybe one side is talking to you a little bit more than the other. Mine certainly is today. Can settle into those spots that need a little bit more openness. Wherever your body's really calling for you to rest today. Last couple here. Can gently release back to the mat. Any grips that you might still have here, let them go. Send yourself out long. Take a nice big full body stretch. Breathe in. And we exhale, draw knees to chest, forehead to knees. Big squeeze, good compression here, rinse out the lungs. And then we'll find our way over one side or the other, back to our seat from the start of practice. Let yourself settle back into your tall spine, grounded sit bones. And taking note if you're sitting taller with a little bit more ease. Things are really allowing themselves to settle. Or even just if that breath is flowing a little bit smoother. And draw our hands back through center at chin to chest as we softly open the eyes or come back to our surroundings, our space. Thank you so much for joining me for a yoga class geared a little bit more towards cyclists. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again soon. Namaste.